Welcome back to Surviving and Thriving, where we share with you the things that we have learned as we have transitioned our family from struggling to survive disease to thriving, right smack dab in the midst of it, in the hopes that something that we share with you will help you, enlighten you, and encourage you as you transition your family from struggling to survive disease to thriving, right smack dab in the midst of it. Have you ever put your foot in your mouth or did something really dumb or really stupid, right? Unknowingly, unintentionally, you just did it, and after you did it, you were like, "Oh my gosh, what did I do?" Have you ever did something kind of dumb and stupid, and at the time you thought it was going to make sense, and you kind of thought it through, and you knew what you were doing, but you didn't realize how dumb and stupid it was until later on? I think we've all done that. If we're honest with ourselves, we probably all have done it a lot. I know I have done it a lot. I have put my foot in my mouth a lot. I have made some decisions that I thought that were smart at one point in time and found out later it was really dumb. And I've done and said things intentionally and unintentionally that turned out to not be appropriate at times or might not have been the smartest or the wisest thing to do. And then you kind of regret that you said it later, right? That's what I want to kind of talk about. When you're dealing with health issues, there are times that you're going to do things that seem like you knew better than to do it. Most times I find with me, you guys, I don't do those things mostly intentionally, but there are some times where I'll do some things intentionally. There are some times where I'm like, you know what? I know this isn't the best thing for me to eat, but this day I'm going to get me some, right? And then I have to suffer the consequences for it. But then there are other times, you guys, where I've experienced where, I might have been through some treatments. I'm tired, my body's weak, I haven't eaten. Things aren't as clear as I would like for them to be, but I need to eat and I got to figure out what I need to eat and not make the right decisions. And I'm trying to go through my mind on what I should eat, what I shouldn't eat, what's best for me. And then sometimes I'll make a decision unintentionally, but it is definitely the wrong decision. That's because there's not a lot of clarity up there, and I'm struggling through some fog to make this decision because my body is tired. It's been through a lot, and it needs to recuperate and rejuvenate, right? And I've made some bad decisions. And I've made decisions that after my body's rested, everything's back the way it's supposed to be. I have clarity of mind. And I go, ooh, why did I do that? Because it went against my goal or because I might have to suffer some consequences from it, right? Either way, with both of those, whether I made a decision knowingly, made a decision in a situation where it was unclear, um, I have had to pay consequences for some of the decisions I made, or had to look back and say that was pretty stupid because now I have to do this or go through that because of that, or it counteracted what I was trying to go for. That's kind of what I want to talk to you about when those kind of situations happen to you in life, because they may happen to you. I know they happen to me. So if they happen to me, somebody out there can use something from this, right? What I've learned is this: it's real easy to be hard on yourself, to be down on yourself, to beat up yourself, to call yourself stupid, to fuss at yourself, and to get upset with yourself, right? There's even times when you ain't even did anything stupid. You just stop and evaluate yourself, look at yourself, and realize, you know what, you getting on your own nerves. You don't like yourself right now, right? But even in all of those situations, when those things happen, it's easy to get down on ourselves and to beat ourselves up, but it's very important that we don't beat ourselves up. We really need to be good to ourselves and to love ourselves, right? And I'm not talking about being a narcissist. I'm not talking about being all self-centered and having a big ego and the world revolves around you. But I am talking about being kind to yourself. Sometimes, people can be very kind to other people and very mean towards themselves. And it also works vice versa. There's some people who are kind to themselves and mean to the world. We need balance and all of that. But it's really important when you're going through health issues, you got enough that you have to fight. You have enough that you have to go through that you don't need to tear your own self down. Okay? Yeah, you're going to make mistakes. Yeah, some of those mistakes, most of the mistakes, right, going to come with some type of a consequence or something that you might have to endure or go through physically. It might cause you some pain, some discomfort. It might cause you to have to go through some things. But don't beat yourself up because of it. You're a human being and you make mistakes, okay? And if you made a decision to do something that you knew you were going to have to pay the consequence for, and then the consequence come and it's worse than what you wanted it to be, um, don't beat yourself up because of it, right? Just deal with the consequence, get out of it as fast as you can, right? Do what you need to do to overcome. But when you make those decisions, like, if my body's been through a lot and I'm tired and I decide to eat something that I'm not supposed to eat, and then I have an adverse reaction to it, it does me no good to beat myself up. Some things, you guys, once it's done, it is done. Why cry over spilled milk, right? It's good to look at things, evaluate things, decide what you did wrong and what you need to do right, okay? If there is something that you did that you need to apologize for, you need to make amends for, you need to correct, go ahead and do those things. But to stew over it, to beat yourself up, call yourself names, do stuff to degrade your own self, it defeats not only the goals that you're going for, but it's self-defeating. It's defeating your own self, and you don't want to do that. It's really important that we're good to ourselves. Good to ourselves include taking care of ourselves, eating good, exercising, doing whatever is best for our body, putting good things into our bodies. But being good to ourselves also include the way we think and how we talk to ourselves, right? If you're telling yourself you can't do something, you're stupid, the last time you did it, you messed that up, so don't try it again, that's a self-defeating talk, and it's the life of a failure, and you're not going to make it through what you're going through. And as you're going through the things that you're going through, you're just amplifying and intensifying the suffering and the doom and gloom that comes with it. But if you talk to yourself and you tell yourself, you know what? Yeah, we messed that up last time. Psh, but we're going to nail it this time, right? I'm better than that. I can do this. I can do all things. I'm an overcomer. This ain't nothing for me. And even if there's some struggle while you're doing something, but you're constantly telling yourself, you're not going to get the best of me. I'm better than this, right? I come from good stock. Those types of things that you tell yourself will help you to overcome, help you to endure, and it actually lightens your load, whether you know it or not, right? So even I remember, you guys, I went through suffering day in and day out for year upon year upon year upon year for a very long time. And when I did have doom and gloom and self-defeating thoughts, it was the suffering amplified where you thought it couldn't amplify, but it did. But even though I was going through suffering, but I was telling myself positive things and I was being kind to myself, I was able to overcome a lot of things. There was times, you guys, I struggled to walk. I really couldn't walk, and there was times that I fell, right? And other people would be like, why were you up trying to do that? You know you can't do that. But I tuned that out because I knew I needed to learn how to walk. I needed to get up and walk, and it was important. And it came out later that was important for me to have been moving because that helped keep me alive. But even though I would fall, I wouldn't tell myself that was stupid. I would have to tell myself that, you know what, you failed, but it's okay. Get yourself up. We're going to do this again, right? Dust yourself off. You're going to get this. I might have failed today, but I'm not going to always fail. I fall. I'm going to get this. And because I would tell myself that, you guys, I was able to put one foot in front of the other. If I fell, I was able to get back up. And even while I was walking, I was telling myself, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I'm an overcomer. I got this. You can do this, girl. Come on. Ugh! And then I try to put one foot in front of the other. But be kind to yourself. Be nice to yourself. Use nice words to yourself. Take good care of yourself. May not seem like it's a big thing, but it's a huge thing when you're trying to overcome and conquer um, illness, sickness, and disease. I hope something in there was helpful for you. Until next time, remember, in all things, do you. Bye.